Hello and welcome to a tutorial version of RhasuCraft. I'm Rasu, and this is my test world. I've been laying out the groundwork for chunk boundaries. Where the red and the blue meet back there, that is a chunk boundary, but we are not working over there today. I'm working on a continuation of last week's episode of an Iron Farm tutorial, and if my children would stop screaming, maybe that would be a great day for all of us. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and switch around here and we'll get to work. I've already laid out basically the start of it. This is not necessary. So basically what I've done is this is going to be the center of it. So we'll just pretend this is the ground. Alright, so there's the ground. And this would be an extra piece, a hopper, and then a minecart on top of the hopper. On top of that we're going to put a magma block, and then I'm going to surround that with glass. What this is going to do is be the collection point for all the items in the iron farm, plus a holding spot for the kitties. So now that we got that, we probably don't even need this right here, just for sanity's sake. On top of that, I'm going to put a ring of cobblestone. It could be any block, I believe, so long as it's not opaque. And then from here, I'm going to go out 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the 9th one, I'm going to place a block up like that. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a block on top of it. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a block on top of it. And then finally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a block on top of it. So then I'm going to fill all this in. So while we're watching this happen, I figured no dead air, right? No dead air. So I just want to say how much I appreciate all of you guys that have been watching the videos. If you want to hit that like button and subscribe, that would be extremely helpful, and it'll ensure future content will be made for this channel. Thanks again, and enjoy. Now we're going to build my border around the edge here. This is going to keep the water in. Of course, mobs can spawn on top of that, so what we do to keep that from happening is to put something on top of that. It can be a half slab. I use fences because I think it kind of looks cool. So we're almost done with this part here. There we go. So that's the mob, or the iron golem spawning platform. We'll put water in each of these 4 corners. We'll go ahead, you know what, we'll go ahead and just do that right now. So I'm going to put basically a little corner over here with a block there, a little corner here with a block there, a little corner over here with a block there, and a little corner over here with a block there. The next thing I want to do is I need to put in a sign. So we'll go and use that sign right there. Put a sign right there with a sign on top, and then a sign on top of that. So now this is the size of a human being. On top of that sign, we're going to have a magma block. So then we need to come out 3 this direction, and then we need to come out not there yet. A sign right there, a sign right there, and a sign right there. I don't know why I'm crouching when I do that. Sign right here, sign right here, sign right here. So there should be 3 there and 3 there. So then finally we do the same thing here, 2, 3, and then we just pick a side. It looks better if you do it all on one side, but you want to make sure that you have 2 signs going out from there, 1 sign there, so it should look like that. There isn't anything saying you can't just kind of go random and go in different locations, but I feel like this, for the tutorial if nothing else, helps things out a little bit. So there we go. The magma will not go any further than that. So for now I'm just going to put a magma block on top of this, and that is where the magma goes. So then on top of that I'm going to put that actually there. Let me think here for a second. Okay, yeah, so now what I need is a bed. this is something else that I did wrong in the other video. Let's go ahead and just use a red bed right there, and we'll put that right there. This is where the leader villager is going to go. I've heard tell that the head of the bed needs to be in a certain spot. I think that's how I have it on the island, and that's how I'm going to have it here. But basically what's going to happen is once we get the mob leader into place here, I'm going to remove these 2 blocks and then replace the magma block with actual lava. And he'll be safe here, and anything that's taller than me will get bonked if they go in there. So an iron golem is actually about this tall, so he would get burnt alive by that. Under here, down in there, will be where the cats are collected and then destroyed, so you can get the string. Alright, so that being said and done, the next step I want to do is build the villager area. So what we'll do for that is we come down 1, 2, and then there. So what we want is the villager heads to be here. So we're going to go down an additional 1. So then we come out 2, 3, and then we go up 1, and then we'll just come out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is our starting area for the villagers. So then we just need to block this in a little bit, and then I will build a wall behind there. Now cats will spawn on this platform here if everything is not set up correctly. So you may have to go in and remove the cats. It's pretty easy to do that. I won't really go into details. If I have to, I'll just show you. So for now, just so I have a point of reference, I'm going to put those there, and then I'm just going to block the rest of this off with prismarine, so that way I know where I need to stop working, or I need to rebuild. I don't know. That's a holding spot. If I can talk, sometimes I can talk. So I want a different color glass. So I'm going to use this lovely white glass right here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to now remove this part of the cobblestone, because all of these bricks here are going to be replaced with points of interest or workstations, however you guys want to call that. Alright, so now, just so we are a completionist and we get this done, I'm going to go ahead and put in the fences, or the walls, although I believe that looks like the center right there. Yeah, so I'm going to put that there. That's where the bell is going to go, and I have a child yelling at me. And then see, look at how nice that looks. And that's made with cobblestone, and then I usually put lanterns on the edges or something like that. So anyway, at this point, what I now need to do is lay some more beds down. So I'm going to just lay down, oops, a whole bunch of beds, and that's the start of it. Now that's what I wanted to hit. Villager egg. What I generally do is I end up curing zombie villagers and then breeding them. But what are you attuned to? There is literally nothing. Oh, he just attuned to the bed. I'm silly. Alright, so what I would normally do is just breed these 2 guys up until we get enough, but because this is I'm in creative, I don't have to do that. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I got 11 of these guys. They all have beds. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to light this up a little bit. Let's see. As you can see, the kitty fell into the hole on his own and got bonkered. So, but yeah, this is a good sign. We've already got a whole bunch of cats. So let's go ahead and put in the water, because why not? You can kind of see how this works. It's really simple. You just throw a bucket of water in the corner, and in the corner, and in the corner, and then in the corner, and then making sure you don't put it there. You go in that second spot there, and go over, and then over, and then over, and then over, and 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 over, making sure you don't go directly against it, because what you would end up doing is creating an infinite water source, and you don't want the entire thing to be an infinite water source. What will happen, which is kind of neat, is when you place down like the first 3 blocks of water, you can go back and fill from one of those, because those are also infinite water sources, but they're not dangerous infinite water sources. And boom, and then last row. Alright, and so there we go. As they spawn, they'll fall into that hole, and you'll be able to collect the stuff. We'll go over the collection system as soon as we get this next part done. I think just because I don't want zombies down here, I'll just place a whole bunch of lanterns. Love these things. Also dangle them down from the top. So anyway, that should keep us from having too many zombies down here. Go ahead and just throw down a few more. Although zombies, in part of my experiment, are going to be part of this. So anyway, now that we got that done, what we need to do now is figure out who the mob boss leader is. And part of that process requires it to be nighttime, and also requires that we have a bell. So I'm going to grab the bell. Get rid. I don't need the water anymore. So I want it to be set time, set night. There we go. So now they're all going to go to bed. Maybe. So let's just break these beds. Do I have beds in my inventory? I do. Good. So this is obviously cheating a little bit. So let's set a bed there. And let's set a bed, oops, there. And then, there we go. So now I'm going to fix all these things that I broke. This is when, if you want to fix things that the villagers are doing sillily, alright. So now, we'll just take, is to place glass blocks on top of them while they're asleep. And this will basically lock them in place on top of their respected beds, so we don't ever have to worry about them having pathfinding again. So now I'm going to place the bell down, and I will now break the bell. This guy over here seemed to be upset that I did that, so we'll go ahead and check it again. So yes, so that guy there appears, and I say appears to be the leader. So the next step is to make sure that he is in fact the leader going forward. So we are going to save and quit, and then we're going to go back into it. This is what is so frustrating about this. So he is still the boss. Now he's not. Nope, he's still the boss. So ordinarily what I would do is I would just keep doing that. It does not appear that I have any imposter leaders, which is, it tends to be a problem a whole lot. So let's go ahead and set time again. Time, set, night. We want it to stay night out. Did I do it? Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to now move this guy here up over there. And the way we're going to do that is by building basically a big long bridge with a gradual, very gradual increase of size. I was not able to do it quite like this on the survival game. But, so now what we'll do is we'll just break that, give him a nice safe way of getting out, and then I'm going to go under here and break his bed. So now he no longer has a bed. So what I'm going to do is give him, oops, a bed right here. So he's going to want to go into his bed. He should want to go into, there we go. So then what we do is we just break his bed again and put his bed right there. So he should want to go to his bed. So then what we want to do is break his bed and put his bed over here. And he'll want to go to his bed. Oh, he went to the bed I wanted him to go to. So now what we need to do is lock him into place by doing what we did to them down below. But just to be on the safe side, we also want to go up a couple blocks and set. I don't feel comfortable using. I'm going to use this white as a lightning shield, because the last thing you want is for any of your villagers to no longer have protection from lightning, because they will turn into witches. I had that happen on the island. It was hilarious, but also painful. So now what we need to do is, first of all, I want to replace my holding blocks. Put that there. Actually, that was glass, wasn't it? Yeah. We'll go ahead and drop that bed there. Let's just see if he's still the leader. He is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to throw another villager into. You know what? I don't even care. It's a baby. So now that I've done that, I just want to make sure again. You can never be too sure about that leader, because what ends up happening is sometimes they switch. So one of them is an imposter. You just have to keep bonking who you think the imposter is until you've actually got legitimately the right one. So now this is pretty much done. We should start seeing iron golems any minute now. But what I need to do now as a last step is to finish this out. So we have, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go all the way out to 10. You want to have 21 beds is what I'm saying. So that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8, that's 9, that's 10. So out 2 more. We'll build up our wall, put in some glass right here, and then some cobble behind here, and that should be it. Then of course we need to put beds in here. Oops, I forgot to put a bed right there. Bed, 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 and then some glass blocks, and then you always want to make sure that there is no spawnable surface. So that's what I do there. We will, since I don't have the lava in place yet. Oh, it's just permanently nighttime because I have it set to daytime only. Good. I was kind of worried that they'd be getting out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 for the edge. Go ahead and just put that up like that. Go like that. Finish the wall behind. We don't want them getting out. You can hear the just constant flow of kitties falling into the holding area. They spawn around the boss, the leader, whatever you want to call them. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 21 beds in place. I'm going to do this and then put my glass on top of it, and then I'm going to fill in the space behind there. I will tell you from my own experience that it doesn't seem to matter after you get this thing set up if you add more villagers, but this is the minimum required to get it. And you can tell this thing's working pretty good because just look at all those cats. Look at all those cats. So let's go ahead now and set time, set day. So now they're all awake, and I might actually let I didn't want zombies spawning when I was setting this thing up, so we want to do the daylight cycle. And there we go, we got our first iron golem. So now what I need to do is get some lava, and after this we're going to do the, so there we go. I moved them just enough. So you'll see that this will go right off the edge of that, but it will not go into the water. That's exactly what you want. Alright, so now we're going to come down here. We're going to put in the sorting system. The sorting system is just silly easy to make. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because we no longer need it. Alright, so here I'm going to get a hopper. Actually, I need one of each of those. And then some, what do you call them? Rails, powered rail, and then let's get some more cobblestone. Not infested cobblestone, that's a bad idea. That, and then a redstone torch, and a chest. Just a regular chest. Alright, so here's what we're going to do, right? So, here, I hate when I do that. Alright, so there I want that. Here, I'm going to put this like that and that like that. We're going to put just an ordinary rail right there. And now I don't have to worry about that silly stuff anymore. So then we do that. And if I put a redstone torch there with a block on top of it, it will power that rail. So then if we put this on there, it'll just sweep back and forth and collect everything from inside of there. So then, in that spot right there, actually what I did on the last game was I had a hopper line running out. From here you can just have a hopper line running wherever you want. But because we're doing a tutorial, I'm just going to throw it like that. So since we've started, I believe that's all the loot that we've received. Alright, so that is an iron farm, if I would go from the right direction. So the next thing you should do, or want to do anyway, is to lock in your villagers with professions, and I'm actually not going to do that for now because it's time consuming. And that is how you are going to make an iron farm in Bedrock 1.13. The experiment that I alluded to earlier was I wanted to see what would happen if a zombie would go by every once in a while, to see if that would factor into the villagers making iron golems, and it was inconclusive. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like it and subscribe to the channel for more content. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.